Hey guys, today we've got a Bobcat T300 we're going to do some PM on. I just bought this thing, so I don't know the history of it. It's got about 3,500 hours on it, and the filters look pretty old. They don't have dates on them or hours on them, so I don't know when they were done, and the previous owner didn't really know when they were done either. But I got this thing, it runs good. I'm going to go ahead and change the hydraulic filters, the inline filter, the oil, fuel filter, change the oil, all that. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and drop the bucket and get the arms lifted up and securely mounted with the safety bar. And then I'm going to get the cab raised up and get it secured. That way I can get to the hydraulic filters that are up underneath the cab area. I'll show you guys how to do that. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and get this bucket dropped off. So we're going to go ahead and release the pins, get this thing cranked up. As you can see, we got about 3,500 hours on it right there, 3,505. So I'm going to go ahead and get this released. We're just gonna, I've got a helper out on the outside, so we're gonna raise this all the way up. And he's gonna take this bar right here and put it on that cylinder back there. All right. So as you guys can see, safety bar's in place. I'm going to go ahead and get the 3/4 bolts out right here, the nuts, to raise the cab up, and then we'll get that locked away, and then you guys will see what's up underneath here, so hang tight. Okay, so under here, this machine actually has the incorrect filter for the cooling fan. So this is your main hydraulic filter, this one's for the cooling fan, and then we're also going to replace this inline filter. Let me climb up here, which is this guy right here, this inline filter. There's going to be a cap on it and 2 lines. We'll take that fitting off, take this fitting off, and then replace that guy as well. And while we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and crack open the oil drain, because we're going to drain the oil and do a fluid change back here as well. Change the oil filter, change the fuel filter. Here's the drain. So it's just I believe a 7/8, two 7/8. This comes off and we're going to drain into a drain pan. I did run this machine for a little bit so that the oil is nice and warm. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the air filter while we're at it. We're basically changing everything just because we don't know the history of it. So I'm going to go ahead and reposition the camera, get a drain pan, get some wrenches, and we're going to go ahead and get all this draining. Then we'll move up there and change those filters up in the front. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get this oil draining. So I've got 7/8 here, but I've also got an adjustable wrench. I'm going to hold it with that. See if I can get this busted loose. Hopefully I won't need an impact on it. Sometimes people will run these pretty tight. There we go. And it will be somewhat of a slower drain because it is coming through a hose. I always like to pull the, anytime I do an oil change on anything, pull the cap, let it breathe. We're going to go ahead and pull the dipstick while we're at it. Now this thing, I believe, holds about 3.5 gallons. It's quite a bit of oil. So we're going to let that drain while while this is feeding into my bucket here. We're going to go ahead and get the air filter and stuff out. That just comes out with a wing nut here. This thing is pretty nasty. I've already looked at it. I've already dusted it out. I know that they don't recommend doing that, but I did that just to see where this filter was at. I had every intention of replacing it, but I literally just bought this thing yesterday. The only dates that are on this is the dates on the filter, March of 24. So it's roughly about a year old there, but there's no hours, no dates that it was installed. So large canister filter, and then I also have a new inside filter too. This one doesn't look terrible, but it's getting replaced just because. Now, I may end up having to cap this and dump some of this oil. I don't think this pan holds all of this, but we're going to see how much it'll hold. Okay, now these are genuine Bobcat filters. They weren't cheap, but would prefer OE. Right here about it's got a new rubber washer here. We're going to go ahead and replace that on this. And this goes in. Let's get it snug. And this is the external filter, much cleaner than that last one. I'm going to mark on these right here my hours before I install this. So let me go get a marker. We got 3505. Mark on the other one as well, 3505, and this is April of 25. This one just slides on, same deal. With the this one came with the, yes it did. This one also came with a new rubber grommet. We're going to go ahead and replace that as well. I really don't like that they didn't mark the hours before, because I really don't know the history and how they treated this thing, but it was worth the purchase. All right, so air filter is done. Pan's emptied, so we're going to let the oil continue to drain. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and drain this fuel filter. Hopefully it'll land in the pan there. Almost. Close enough. We're going to go ahead and try to spin this thing off. All right. Everything looks clean on the housing up there. Again, genuine Bobcat. Now I'm gonna go ahead and ride on this before I stick it on here. And I'm gonna take my finger in this old oil right here, and I'm just lubricate this seal. Try not to get any oil in there. I just want the seal. Screw this thing on and get it hand tight. Just hand tight right there. Now, next thing is we've got to open this bleeder valve, and then we're going to pump the primer bulb to get fuel back up there. It's just a flathead screwdriver. Crack this thing open right here, and then we're just going to squeeze this until we get fuel up there. And that's basically pre-filling that filter, priming everything so that this thing will start whenever. Alright, we have fuel. Tighten that back down. While this is still draining, I'm going to go ahead and change this oil filter. It's going to drain some oil down, that's fine. I've got some brake clean I'm going to use to clean this thing up whenever. I'm going to get a rag and I'm going to wipe that. So I don't want any dirt and debris getting inside the new filter. So and again, we've got genuine Bobcat filter. This actually has a spot to write it in. And again, I'm going to just lubricate this seal with my finger here. It is a sideways mounted filter, so I'm not going to pre-fill it to avoid losing any of the oil. Just hand tight is good. And it looks like we are drained on the oil. Put this cap back on, snug it down. Okay. It just kind of sits right up in there. So now we are going to make sure this fuel filter is, I don't think the water separator was tight on it, it was dripping some. I'm going to get some brake clean this mess up. I'm also going to start filling the oil. So I'm going to put roughly 2.5 gallons in it first, check it on the stick, see where we're at. So bear with me while I fill it up. All right, here's 1 gallon. Okay, here's gallon number 2. Here's gonna be a 1/2 gallon just to get it to 2.5. I'm gonna check it on the stick. This is the first time I've done an oil change on this machine, so I'm not sure exactly how much it takes. Just going off of the internet, it says about 3.5. we got the stick. I know I haven't filled the oil filter or anything yet, but I just want to see where we're at. We are touching the stick, but we are not full. So I'm going to go ahead and do another half gallon. Well, this is about 1 more quart. Let me fill this and we'll check it again. So this would be 11 quarts. Looks like this filter's still dripping. Yeah, we are still not full. All right, so that was another half gallon, and this thing is still leaking. I'm not sure why we are still leaking here on the water separator. It's a genuine Bobcat filter. And it may be that it just has it down in this housing. We are almost there on the stick, but I want to start it first and just see what it's like after it fills the filter and everything. Maybe it'll stop the leak in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the oil cap on it and fire this thing up real quick. Clean some of this off of here. Some brake clean. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and even though that's still dripping, I'll deal with that in a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up so I can check the oil level. All right, now that it's circulated the oil a little bit, I think that was just residue in there. It doesn't look like, I'm not sure if it's dripping anymore. It may have just been in the bottom bowl of this. All right, so we're still a little bit low on oil. Go ahead and top it off with a little bit more. And we are pretty much right there on the full mark. So that was exactly 3.5 gallons. So that was right on the money at 3.5 gallons there. So I'm gonna let this dry. I think it's closed. I think it just built up in there whenever it was bleeding out. I don't see it actually leaking. So we are pretty much done back here, but I'm gonna leave this open for checking on it here shortly. And I'm gonna lift the cab and we're gonna go ahead and get going on the hydraulic filters. So we're gonna change the two canister ones first, and then we're gonna change the inline filter for the I believe it's for the drive motor return. We'll change that as well. So let me reposition up there, and I'll show you guys on changing those filters and which ones go where. All right, guys. So like I mentioned earlier, This one right here is for the main hydraulics. This one right here is for the hydraulics on the cooling fan. Now the way that they've got this one, it is not correct. Both of these are the same filter, and that's not what they're supposed to be. Here's the two part numbers of what I was given by Bobcat. This one right here is for up there, which is the correct part number, and this one right here is for the lower one, which is not the correct one. So we're gonna go ahead and change these out. I've got a little bucket here that I'm just gonna put up under if I can. It might not, just, we're gonna have to go without it. Yeah, it's not gonna fit. I'm gonna do this bottom one first. I'm just gonna crack it loose. I'm gonna get this new one out. I'm gonna write my hours on it. As you can see, that's a lot different filter. Now also, I'm going to lubricate this seal a little bit with some of this existing hydraulic oil once I get this one down. It will make a mess. I will power wash this out of here. I'm going to make a mess down below anyways whenever I change that inline filter. Again, they only need to be hand tight. Now this next one, I'm going to go ahead and break it loose. Just as such. Still see my writing on it. Now the next one is going to be a little bit more difficult to get to, because it's down here at the bottom. There's a few lines on it that we need to bust loose. It's going to leak hydraulic fluid down in here, and I plan on power washing this thing afterwards and making it nice and clean. I believe these are 3/4 inch fittings. And then we'll get that filter out of here and replaced. I think that's probably going to be about the best view we can get, because it's going to be this guy right here. It's a little canister filter. I'm going to try to work on this side over here, and that way you guys can see what I'm doing. And it is a 3/4. Right now I'm just going to try to bust all these loose. Okay. Okay. Take that out, and then this is what we're going to replace. So I need to take these fittings off and put on the new filter. So I'm going to go to the bench and take care of that real quick. I'm going to clean some of this debris off of here and get that taken care of. I'll be right back. So I literally just did the entire filter there. So I'm going to go ahead and start hooking things back up. I'm going to get them all on there. One thing to note when doing this is note the orientation of all of the fittings prior to disassembling. This one right here had a cap on this one, and this one was facing upward. So when I installed the fittings on the new filter, they're back in the same orientation that they were. So like I said, I'm getting all of them on first. It'll slow my leaking down, and then it will allow me to get them all tight where they need to go. That way the filter is positioned where it needs to go. Okay, so that filter is on. Now I'm going to try to clean up some of this mess right here so that I can spray it down with brake clean, just to make sure that I don't have any leaks, specifically at any of those fittings there. All right guys, so from here what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and close this cab, fire it up. I'm going to check for leaks, specifically around that filter where all those fittings are. I'm going to check for leaks of these other filters, make sure we're all good. I'm going to check for leaks back there, and then I'm going to drive this thing over and I'm going to power wash everything off and get it all nice and clean. Get all this hydraulic oil out of here, just because I don't want it sitting around collecting dust, making grime and all that. So at this point we're pretty much done with the general preventative maintenance. We've changed all of the hydraulic filters, we've changed the air filters, we've changed the fuel filter, changed the oil and oil filter. Just done a general check around. I've also gone through and I've greased all of my grease fittings. I've adjusted my tracks on this thing. You adjust them by pumping grease into the grease zerks on the tracks themselves. So I've got the slack taken out of those. So now it's just a matter of checking for leaks. I checked my hydraulic fluid level because I did lose quite a bit here, but this machine was over full. I guess from the previous owner they put a little too much in it, topping it off, and the sight glass is supposed to be about halfway. We're low right now, so I'm gonna end up having to add some, but we're gonna top everything off, check for leaks, make sure it's all good to go, and then I think this machine's gonna be good to go for quite some time now. So like and subscribe if there's something else you want to see on one of these machines. I didn't see a whole lot of videos out there on T300s. I'm sure that I'll be doing more maintenance and repairs on this machine as I go. It's an older machine, so just hit me up, and if there's something you want to see, I'll do my best to make a video on it. So until next time, we'll see you next time.